This is what the world should look like to me. I ain't gonna lie. Like it should look like it should be in symbiosis with nature, not fucking away from nature. You feel me? Because like if I looked up like something like New York, look how New York looks. Look how it's just gray and just dead, and there's like no nature to be found. Like this
it is the concrete jungle.
This is straight
concrete jungle.
This is straight human shit. You feel me? Like they literally took God out the equation and they just put human shit here. This is a good balance of what the fuck we should be looking like. You feel me? Like this is just to me, this is paradise. I'm not gonna lie. This looks like paradise to me. Like there was a fucking picture that I had seen. This one right here. Doesn't this look like some shit that you would see? Like if people were saying, okay, what does heaven look like? Wouldn't this be like something similar to it, nigga? Because this looks crazy to me, bro. I don't know. Like this looks like this is a fucking waterfall, like right by this pool. They're in nature.
That looks a lot like paradise for real.
That's like I don't like, and we're just so far from it. Like it's like look at this shit. This is like everything should look like art because everything God already made is art. But like it's just like if you go to like where I live, like in Miami, all the houses look the same. So like if I looked up townhouse, all the houses look the same. It's like look at this shit. Why does everybody want to look the fucking same, nigga? Look at this shit. Why the fuck are we all trying to look the same, bro? Like, nigga, where is the diversity? This is why nobody's creative no more. Because everybody wants to look the damn same.
Assimilation.
It's sad. It's really, like, this is what I mean by bots, nigga. Like, this is The Sims. This is fucking crazy. This is so crazy.
It really does look like The Sims. Holy shit. I hadn't put that together.
This is, I don't know, bro. I don't know what's up with the world, bro. That's why I created this Discord, bro. Like, I'm really just trying to get my bread, get the fuck out of here, and bring the niggas that trying to get the fuck out of here. Because it ain't going to look like this where I'm trying to live at, bro. This is crazy, bro. I want niggas to be different and be proud, nigga. Like, this is crazy.
I'd rather have more trees than buildings and have more buildings and trees.
Yeah. Like, it's just, we're actually supposed to live outside anyway, like, to be honest. You feel me? Like, nigga, I would not mind sleeping on this. I would not mind at all. Like, this shit looks doesn't this look like some shit out of, like, Avatar or some shit like that? Like, this looks like where the monks might train or some shit.
Yeah, that looks like an airbender temple for real.
Bruh, dead ass. Like, this is beautiful to me. Like,
absolutely.
I don't know, bruh. But, like, we live in this world that wants to look like this. It's just like, oh, they got a few trees, like you need these trees to breathe, and you've cut down most of them. I don't understand it. I just feel like we're living so backwards now.
And they try to compensate it by putting a giant park in the middle of the city, thinking like, oh, we didn't cut all the trees. We got this one plot of land that's got a lot of trees, so it's not all bad. So just come and move to New York. There's big dreams that happen here. Big dreams come true in the big city. So just come down to New York. It'll be fun. And then you end up working as a waitress or a pizza delivery guy, and then moving into like a cramped up like six foot studio apartment or some shit, you know? Where it's just like that's how you want to live? You want to live like that?
Like there's a nigga living all the way up here. Like his parents told him to go to school, be a doctor, go to college, and then get in debt, and then pay all your fucking pay all your debt off and shit. Work your whole life to pay all your debt off, but you're gonna live at the top of the building. That nigga is depressed. And me
probably, and I bet a lot of the forex traders that live in New York are probably probably borderline suicidal.
Like, nigga, they're probably ready to jump out the top floor, nigga. Like, it's just crazy to me. Like, we don't need none of this, bro. I just want to go back to nature, nigga. That's it.
I know.
I'm trying to go right back to nature.
I even heard that some Wall Street brokers end up like using a lot of cocaine, and then like for instance, like in Wolf of Wall Street in the beginning, one of the guys is like, do a bump of cocaine once in the morning, once at lunch.
Yeah,
and make sure to bust a nut at lunch, and also make the bust a nut right before you go into work. Cocaine, hookers, and just because he said it keeps you sane. So if you were to avoid doing all of that, then you'd probably just want to go fucking berserk with all the stress that comes from that kind of job. And even like Wall Street in the 80s, dude, that was pure chaos. Have you ever seen how Wall Street operated in the 80s?
I think I watched the old movie with Charlie Sheen, but like that was about it. It was like the
No,
old Wolf of
no,
Wall Street.
no, no. Like there was some old footage from like the 70s or 80s of how Wall Street used to operate, and it like there were some where they had like two phones in they had a phone in each hand. They were trying to talk to one with one ear and then try to talk to the other with the other ear, trying to get as many deals as possible. Like, how do you not like how do you function in all that chaos? It's like
Stressful.
mind blowing. I respect the grind on that for sure. Because like before everything became digitized, like you had to really know your shit in order to succeed, especially in fucking Wall Street. So for the sake of the grind, I totally respect old school Wall Street brokers, but it's like that's not an environment I want to fucking live in, man. I would blow my brains out within the first week if I were to live in that fucking environment, man. Yeah, that shit ain't for me.
It's almost opposite of what the monks do, because the monks' goal is to get complete peace of mind. You feel me? And like to completely focus on one thing, and that's when your mind is at its best mind state. But like you said, like those people in like Wall Street and stuff like that, like they like they're trying to do so much things at once. Like the city is constantly moving, like in New York and shit like that. So it's just like it's complete stress and shit like that. But that's literally just taking hours out of your fucking life. You feel me? Like we're not supposed to be stressed. We're supposed to be like literally, like the more at peace you are, I feel like the more you're in that heaven mind state. You feel me? I just feel like that should be the goal, to be in that heaven mindset. I don't think you're supposed to wake up and be stressed about shit outside of you. That doesn't really make like unless like maybe somebody's attacking your family or some shit like that. Okay, that make you go into fight or flight. But you feel me? Niggas are going to like work and going into fight or flight every single day. Like nigga, what? I'm not supposed to be fighting for my life to make some fucking money just so I can try to live? That's crazy. Like, I just think, I don't know, these niggas that living out here peaceful and shit, like niggas don't think, oh, this a broke bitch. She out in the nature. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna hit. I'm not hitting. But like, she, I bet she's happy as fuck. You feel me? Like that minimalist lifestyle. Like, there's a reason why Chinese are so like minimalist. They almost sleep on the floor.
She literally has a banner that says, "I love Bali."
Yeah,
you know, like that alone proves that she's happy and fulfilled where she's at.
Now, see, this is one I'd hit. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I hit this one. But like this one, like, look, she's chilling, bro. She don't need nothing except some water and some nature around her, and she's chilling. All these other bitches in New York, they need Balenciaga, bro. They need a fucking Gucci bag and Louis and shit. Like that shit is. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, we don't fuck with Balenciaga. I don't really fuck with designer like that anyway. Like honestly, I don't really care about like none of that shit. Like phases me, bro. I don't know. Like I don't care, bro. Like if I see a famous person, I also don't give a fuck. Cause I'm just like, nigga, you're just another. You're not special from me. You feel me?
Yeah,
we're all the same.
And I feel like the main reason that people end up buying all these designer shit like Louis, Gucci, Dolce Gabbana, Balenciaga is like they buy it, one for like the ego boost, and two like they want to buy it because they can, and so that they can say, oh yeah, I have a nice leather lined Louis Vuitton handbag, or oh, I've got this really slick Gucci bomber jacket, or hey, I got fucking Louis Vuitton ping pong paddles. Like I literally saw Louis Vuitton ping pong paddles for fucking $250.
Like who gives a fuck?
Why the fuck would you buy $250 ping pong paddles? You know?
I mean,
it's just
at the end of the day,
it's like yeah.
At the end of the day, it's really just like people want to, like, it's the ego. Like that's what creates like society and shit like that. That's what makes us want to be outside of like nature and shit like that, because we think we're not one with nature. You feel me? We don't think we're connected to it at all. We think none of this shit matters. You feel me? Like all that matters is making sure I look cool and like everybody else thinks I look cool because I'm wearing a fucking Balenciaga shirt. You feel me? But like when you're getting, it's just pleasure. It's pleasure from like outside sources, and like it's not from you. That's when like you're always going to. This is what causes depression. Like it's not anything else besides society that causes depression, because then we think we have to be more than ourselves. But once people decide to just be themselves, they're happy.
And also the constant need for wanting more and feeling like, oh, it's not enough, that there needs to be something more.
It's a black hole.
And Yeah,
It never
it's
ends.
exactly a black hole. You get an implosion. Like you just end up imploding, and then you end up just feeling like none of it matters, and then you end up having a fucking mental breakdown, and then you're just at your wit's end. You know, like I feel like a lot of it is just how we're like, oh, we gotta have it all. We gotta have all the cool clothes. We gotta have the newest car. We gotta have the newest phone. And if you don't have it, then you're a bitch, or you're behind, or oh, you're a grandpa or some shit. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
They always call you
like
names and shit like that.
you get shamed for not having the newest shit, and then when you do, they could give a shit. You know, it's terrible, like the way that modern society is being run.
I mean, it's
And
like Chris, me and what's good, Sabiso? It's like what's good,
Yo, what's good,
Opium
bro?
Karma? What's good, bro? It's good.
Just
Yeah.
hopped in here for a little bit.
Oh yeah, you good, bro? I gotta
Happy New
go in like
Year's,
probably like
boys.
10 minutes or some shit. But like, what's good? You know, keep it going. We're just kind of, I don't know. We're just kind of talking about society, what we're gonna do in 2023 and shit like that. How everything's
That,
backwards.
that,
Cause
yeah, it's all pretty
oh
fucked
shoot,
up nowadays.
that's
I
pretty
mean,
rad.
what are your what are your some of thoughts here on like society? What do you think's like the main thing wrong with the way people are living right now?
people are just being controlled by the foods, by the Instagram, by the fucking everything everyone's doing. Fear of missing out.
Yeah, FOMO.
Lot of mind control going on for
Yeah,
sure. My like sophisticated mind control from multiple different angles.
Like the only reason this sweater means anything to anybody. Let me try to find one that's actually HD. Like the only reason this shit matters is because people say it matters, but this shit literally means nothing. Like it's so crazy. This shit means
Yeah.
cost them,
fucking
like
nothing,
$3 to make that.
bro. Dead ass. They just put a name on
yeah,
it.
they're like, yeah, they put a name where it's like, oh, that's a cool name, Balenciaga. Ooh, that sounds
So
fancy.
sad, bro.
Oh, and it's from Paris,
Yeah,
France.
facts.
It's imported. Oh,
Mhm.
that just makes it even more valuable.
Because if I put this on, I'm
you
gonna
know?
look cool. Everybody gonna look at me. This is crazy.
Well, maybe not now, given all the
Oh
Balenciaga shit
yeah.
they've
But
been
I mean,
going
I'm just
through.
saying like that's just the
But
mindset of people wearing designer and shit like that. Let me go
yeah,
to
yeah.
we go to something else. Well, it's just like I don't it's just I don't know, cause like me, I don't give a fuck about designer, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I ain't gonna lie. This kind of look cool. I ain't gonna lie. But like to be real, like that shit doesn't phase me. Like I'm not gonna think, oh my god, you're so cool because you're wearing clothes. Like nigga,
Yeah,
we're actually supposed to be naked. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Like I really don't give a fuck. Like I'm supposed
like
to be in nature, naked as fuck, nigga. I don't care about none of this shit.
yeah, it's nothing more than luxurious accessories. You know, like clothes to some degree, clothes are essential depending on like where exactly you're at. Like especially if you're in a place that ends up snowing, you know, having clothes is a lot better than being naked.
Well, yeah, of
But
course,
you know,
yeah.
but yeah, I get that like our ancestors didn't feel the need to wear clothes, but you know, like they still serve a purpose, but they've at the same time, people have taken it way too far to where I feel like, oh, you need to have these clothes in order to look cool, or in order to be liked by your peers. You need to have all this cool, expensive stuff that we say looks cool, but you know, it's just it's so fucked up.
And it's so backwards because like if I go back to my primal instinct and decide to walk around naked, they're gonna arrest me. Like that's crazy. I'm like, nigga, all this shit is fake. All this shit is made up, bruh. And like, if I go back to like how I'm supposed to live, these niggas gonna arrest me and tell me I'm crazy. Like that is, I don't know, bruh. I do not belong in society. I do not belong here, bro. Like this shit don't make no sense to me. Cause like, I guess some of the clothes are cool or whatever, shit like that. And like you were saying that like, even if it snows, like yeah, it'll be better to have clothes on, which I agree with.
Yes,
but that's also why we would like kill mammoths and shit for their fur, or and that's also why people like in like what is it, Greenland, like 'cause that's where it snows and shit like that. Like they're just hairy as fuck. You feel me? Because like that's just we adapt. You feel me? We at the end of the day we don't need this shit.
Or like how in Africa I heard that like the reason why afros exist is to help block the massive UV rays from hitting your head, because like afro hair is coarse and super thick. So like if you grow your hair out, then it essentially acts as shade for your head. as well.
Your hair, they're attacking your hairs as well. They're
Facts.
making a shower with shampoos with not organic stuff. They promote the dyeing your hair,
Mm-hmm.
cutting your hair.
Mm-hmm.
I think your hair
Mm-hmm.
is a beautiful thing. It's an electrical thing. It's alive and it's light sensitive. It
Facts.
can absorb light and electricity from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like I don't remember. It was like a story of like how like they had like Indians that were trying to like get them into like the army, and then like they probably had hair like this type shit. You feel me? Like long hair, and like our hair is also an extension of our nervous system. So like you actually they're used as antennas, so you're actually able to sense shit because of your hair. Like there's sometimes like there's some shit hitting my hair. I'm like, what the fuck is on me? You feel me? And like I didn't feel it, but my hair did. You feel me? Like so like they were able to like track like animals and like shit like that, like with like precision because they had the long hair. But then they made them cut it like this, and then they lost all of their fucking tracking ability, bro. Like, but this is how they want us all to walk around, bro. Like this, like this nigga right here, bro. But like this nigga, this is just a human. You feel me? This nigga has the potential to be a god. I mean, at the end of the day, like your body's like a reflection of you. Which is why like a lot of bitches want to like cut their hair and say, oh, it was the trauma, I was cutting it all off and shit like that. But like, which I agree with. I agree. But like, it's also like, that's why like having long hair, like the more powerful like you are, the longer your hair usually is. You feel me? Which is also why I have like Dragon Ball Z right here. Because like, as you can see right here, like Super Saiyan 1, 2, and then 3, like his hair gradually got longer. You feel me? Like that was like a real, like Asians, they know some shit. They just don't tell you. I'm not gonna lie, like you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Dragon Ball Z is about black people. I don't know. Maybe I
don't know about black. I feel just like any.
They were monkeys, nigga. Like I'm not even trying to be racist. They were monkeys.
We all come from monkeys. Monkeys we share a common ancestor with modern primates. You know, like all of us share genetic relations with a primate. We're not that we're directly related to monkeys, like they're not our genetic brothers or cousins, but us and them share an ancestor way back.
I don't know if I like completely subscribe to like the whole evolution thing, but like
the thing that we evolved from monkeys, I think it's a complete lie, honestly.
Well, yeah, like it's still a theory, like it's still science at the end of the day, but like I mean it's possible, but I just don't think.
I think there was like a split to where one group just went on to evolve to what we call the modern primates, and then us went on to evolve to become modern humans. But there's
the monkeys becoming humans, right?
Yeah, exactly, right. They would evolve into be humans and shit.
But then how do you explain
look at this?
If you look at the shape of a monkey ear, or if you look at the shape of a monkey hand, it looks exactly like a human. So that shows that we have some relation between the two genetically, but at the same time we're not directly related to them, but we share traits with primates. That's what I
think there's evidence to definitely back it up, but I don't know if I completely agree that we evolved from them. I think the closest we would definitely be closer, because like if you look at these teeth right here, this is actually from Yaki. I think Sir Juice had put like a video into like collective consciousness, and like he put me onto this shit. So like basically like your anatomy basically is linked to what type of food you're supposed to be eating, right? So like the reason we're not supposed to eat meat is because we don't have sharp fangs like this to bite into meat and then like grab that shit, and like basically, and their tongues are so long basically because like the blood is acidic and shit like that, so they have to get it down their throat as fast as possible. So if you look at this chart, it doesn't look like we're supposed to be a carnivore. We're not an omnivore. We're not even a herbivore like that. We're actually closer to frugivores in like our teeth. You feel me? So like we're actually supposed to be eating mainly fruits and vegetables and nuts, which are what monkeys eat. Which this is a monkey. I will give you that. That is a monkey. But I just don't know if we completely evolved from them.
Yeah, I'm not saying we evolved from like what we know as monkeys, but I'm saying that us and monkeys share a common ancestor that existed way back in time, and then there was a split to where we adapted into those other various parts. But yeah, I'm just saying that we share similarities with them, even though we didn't evolve directly from them. But we are connected to them in more ways than one, is what I'm trying to say. That we share a connection with primates in that out of all of the animals in the animal kingdom, the closest relative we have are primates. But modern primates are not what humans were before humans, you know?
No, I agree. What do you, the rest of you guys think? Do you guys think we evolved? Like, I know, Sabisa, you were saying you don't
I'm not saying we.
Look, I'm gonna send a post from IG from this guy, Master of Earth. I always send his content.
Master of Earth. Yeah, you do send him a lot.
It's really about this, but I send it on the Buddhist temple. If you can put it on your screen real quick.
That's the good. Yeah, I got you. Hold on. Yeah, I'll put it on the screen right now. Should pop up. Okay. So
I don't know where he got this information from.
Yeah.
But like, since there's a bunch of lies and stuff, like, and this guy, he really knows what he's talking about, and like, he's put me on a bunch of game. I've been following his advice, and it truly does work. Like, I kind of really want to go with it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Which says, okay, so basically he's saying that in case you ever wondered how the pyramids was created, melanin dominant humans, blacks, has always been interdimensional. There are pyramids all over our galaxy. There are some on both the moon and the Mars. It's a shame we are miseducated about our origins with things such as slavery or evolving from apes. There was an experiment conducted on the DNA of black. Scientists wanted to know just how old we are. They discovered our DNA history is so vast. There is literally no beginning or end. Interesting.
That's so shocking to me.
And if this is true, that is crazy as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is just cool to me because I'm just like with the whole. I'm fascinated with Egyptian culture. Like, obviously my name is Apollo, which is a Greek god, but the Greeks got all their information from the Egyptians. So like, it's just, I want to study more about them, but it's also, I'm curious to like, if we were gods like this, how did the white people do all of this shit to us? That's what I need to figure out. How the fuck did they get, like, if we have spaceships, nigga, how the fuck did the white people do this shit to us, nigga? These niggas can't even, they can hardly get to the moon. Like, how the fuck? That, like, do you have any, like, does Master of Earth talk about that at all? Because, like, I'm just like, how did we lose this war?
Content. It's not Master of Earth. I got some content, but it's pretty much like, they talk about, how do you say this? Like, we once were like at the throne of the galaxy, of the cosmos. We had the throne, and like, we were the rulers of everything. But like, we abused the power, and we went to like some planet or something, and like, we like ate some fish, or like, we did some rule that was not allowed or something. So then we got enslaved on that planet, and then we became slaves. It was something like that. I got the video to send it though.
Oh yeah, send it through. That's the only thing about like the whole history part of it. It's just like, there's so many different stories. It's hard for me to understand like which one is the actual valid source. So that's why like I try to find like multiple confluences and see like, okay, like this story is matching up with this story and this story is matching up with this. But this is an interesting like view of seeing. I hope to God this is like the true story. You feel me? But like I can only guess, because at the same time, like, white people took everything from us. So it's kind of like, I don't even know what to believe sometimes. But like, this is crazy though. And I do believe that black people are definitely like, I'm not gonna say superior, but we're so in tune with like music, for example, which means that we're very close to what Tesla was talking about, of being like, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, look in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. And I think we are able to harness that like very well. You know what I mean? So,
but at the same time, like, black people are not the only individuals that are capable of achieving something like that.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Like, yeah, like every human is capable of achieving that kind of feat. But I could maybe agree with, you maybe having an easier time, but I don't want to go into the whole like, oh, you're superior and I'm inferior.
No, that's what I said. I don't want to say we're superior.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying that, like, like everybody, not just black people, has the potential to harness the power that
for sure,
that you and I call God. We can I can become a god the same way that you can, Apollo.
Of course, yeah.
That we both have that innate ability. But like some of us just have to, some of us need a push start. Whereas some of us are just able to
It's just harder for here. I'm white as fuck, bro. But I've read a lot about
I'm a Caucasian too.
But I've just read that like the white people, they just gotta activate that melanin, bro.
Yeah,
You can
facts.
activate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also I don't like how a lot of the spiritual leaders are playing into that whole divide and conquer agenda and saying like, oh, these are the melanated and these are the non-melanated beings, and that, oh yeah, the Caucasians are the devil and that they come from the pits of hell or some shit, and that they're the destructive force while the blacks are the creative force. And it's just like, stop playing into this whole divide and conquer bullshit. Like it's better to be united and for us to all realize the power that's held within us than try to say, oh, this one race only has the power while all of you others, you don't have any. So
okay,
just accept that.
Well,
you know?
Okay, so I agree with you. What's your point? Like saying we should stay united and everything like that. But like I do understand like the spiritual leaders saying that like, oh, like these are melanated beings, and like obviously having condensed light in your body is able to make it a lot easier for you to do certain things spiritually. But like I know there's the whole idea of like white people being like reptilians and are not even from this earth. What do you guys think about that idea? Because I don't like I try to stay away from those crazy ideas and shit like that, but like I like hearing like what other people think about like that side of the story of like
I don't think that they're reptilian. I think that if there were, it's a very minute, like very minuscule percentage of individuals. Like I'd say if anybody, if I were to put that label of, oh, these reptilian beings, it would be the individuals that are, or the elites that are running this current corrupt system.
100%.
I would put the label on that, but say, oh, Caucasians are white people, as a whole, I'm not for that at all.
Okay, what are the rest of you guys think?
Even the Rockefeller, bro, the Rockefeller, which are the elites that control everything and all of this.
Yeah.
To start with, they were black. And slowly they started breeding and stuff, and they became white, and they went into sin and whatnot, and they started manipulating people. But they were Jewish, and black people are the original Jews.
Yeah, I know that's the original Israelites. Facts. That's what Kanye's been trying to tell people, but like
it's weird with him because he's trying to say 7 to 8 different things all at once and trying to hope that everybody understands it. But where he was trying to say, oh, Balenciaga's evil, oh, Jesus Christ is king, oh, the original Jews are black. He's trying to put all these multiple points in at once instead of like focusing on them one at a time. And like when you try to get all of them, like try to get them all at once, it just scatters the entire. It scatters the entire conversation.
Well, that's how like I will admit that is how like a genius brain does work. I remember Einstein said that he would always have to get like a piece of paper and like write his ideas down because he would end up forgetting them because there would just be so many flooding in his brain at once. And it's hard for I think Kanye's problem is articulating himself. I think he is a genius. I think he does have great ideas. I think he just doesn't know how to articulate it. And I remember watching the Joe Rogan podcast with him, and he was kind of like jumping from idea to idea. And like I would catch certain things he said, but other things were kind of hard to understand because like he would kind of just like he goes on like an entire like tangent. You feel me? Then it kind of goes off like onto another string. But at the same time, like I didn't want to stay on like the other topic real quick. So like as far as like the whole reptilian thing, I like exploring this. This is funny. Before I go on, Chris or Drip or Karma, any of you guys want to chip in? What do you guys think of that whole like theory that the white people are reptilian? I'm not saying all of them, but like I guess like they came to this planet, they're foreign, and they end up fucking shit up. You feel me? Like what do you guys think about that whole thing?
This gotta be proved. That's it. That's the only thing I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, yeah, it's real.
Yeah, no,
real.
Facts. No, facts. I would say, okay, now I'm gonna play a devil's advocate here. This is fun now. So like I will say that like everything that society is doing right now seems to be I'm not gonna say of the devil, but it seems very disharmonious with nature and like the world itself. So like I said, like with society, how we're like so far away from like nature now, we're doing things like burning the rainforests to get more money and shit like that. And then, but then you look at the people at the top, they tend to be the white people. You feel me? And I'm not trying to say all of them are bad, but like at the same time, it's just like the ones that are running this and pushing us towards this direction away from actual nature and harmony tend to be the white people. So like, what do you guys think about that?
But like, oh, sorry, go ahead. Oh, well, like, and you just to clarify, you're not saying that like these people, the elites that are in this that created this whole system of control, who just so happen to be pale-skinned individuals, that like they're not a representation for that race. Like they give what we call the white race a bad name, the same way that all the gang violence, you know, that isn't a representation for how black people are. You know, it's just like. But
what Kanye's been trying to say is that like the Jewish people are brainwashing us into doing that, and that's why they promote a certain image of us, so that way we continue to act a certain way, so they can almost create a genocide of the black people by like putting this image out of us and having us listen to this violent music, so we continue to be violent and be in this low vibrational state. You feel me? So like at the same time, it's still the white people or Jewish people who are the puppet masters of that. You feel me? So how?
It's not just the Jews. It's the Zionists. It's a very specific group of individuals. Like it's not the Jews. It's not the whites. It's not the non-melanated people. It's the Zionists.
Okay.
It's the elites, the people who run the system of control. Like when I think of the elites, the Zionists, whatever you want to fucking call them,
Nobody knows.
Give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about like what race they come from or what they look like. All I care about is what the fuck are they doing to the world? Why are they doing this? And should we fucking do something about it? And if I see that, oh, they're completely they're doing complete deforestation, they're polluting the world, they're completely ruining indigenous communities. Like, I don't give a fuck if they're white, black, Asian, doesn't matter what the fuck their race is. What matters is the actions they're committing, and if they're going to face repercussions for their actions, you know? Okay. Like take the race out of it, take what they look like out of it, just focus on who they are as individuals and what they are doing to our home. Okay. You know? Like, forget about the race.
And like, what was your take on this, Abiso? Or Drips a lot?
Like it's more about race, like you said, man. Like, if you look at it deeply, like, everyone's being affected by it. No matter if you're Asian, black, white,
exactly,
whatever the fuck. You're still looking at a screen right now. You're still eating McDonald's. You got McDonald's right next to your house. You have fucking fucking EMF frequencies in the city attacking you all the time, constantly.
Yeah.
Like, it's more a matter about information. It's about knowledge. It's about energy. These people, they studied the human body. They know how it harnesses energy. They know what frequencies to attune it to lower its vibration. And if you look at a city from up above, it literally looks like a computer. Like, if you ever see
I know exactly what you mean. Like a motherboard. It looks like a motherboard.
Yeah. Like, these guys already know about the energy. They know about the frequency. They know about all this stuff. If you look at the motherboard, if you look at the city, like, God knows who this fucking supercomputer is transmitting the energy to, what planet, or to who the fuck is harnessing our shit, you know?
Facts.
Like, all of those people in that city or in those buildings, they're all feeling emotions. They all have energy running through their bodies. It's obviously being collected by someone, somehow, somewhere. So they've mastered us, and we got to learn how to master ourselves to take our power back.
Facts.
That's what it's about.
And then for anybody wondering what he was talking about, like, this is what New York City looks like. This is what a motherboard looks like. Doesn't this look like how the neighborhoods be set up? Like, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
For real.
That is crazy. Oh, shit. Drip a lot. I see you put your mic on. You got something to say, too, on that?
Yeah, I'm make this quick. I'm at work right now, but I
Okay.
just wanted to say, like, yeah, we can talk about the United shit, but I would really say that ever since the so-called black people have been united with the other race, it's been nothing but hell and, like, terror and shit.
I
So
can
we can
understand that.
come together and agree, like, oh yeah, we can, but at the same time, we need to understand that there is an agenda, and the agenda, well, we can first start off by saying why they wanted to push the vaccine so much. And, I
Facts.
don't want to get into any of that because
Mm-hmm.
people have, personal issues or takes on that. But all I wanted to say was just like, man, like, I understand where people are coming from, but I don't know. I don't even know how to go out this, but I got a lot to say about this shit. I
No,
ain't
I
gonna.
get you on that because I'm with the whole tribal thing. Like the reason the Asians are like one of the biggest empires is because they stay within their race. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like so, like they know their culture. They know how their body acts. They know how to teach their children. So that's why they're
Yep.
living how they're supposed to be living. You feel me? White people
Discipline,
and
yeah.
black people and like Asian people and like Spanish people, we all have different cultures. We all eat different things. We all need to be living differently in different environments and stuff. So it makes sense that if we were separate but like within our own tribe that we would actually thrive more. Like I'm not saying we can't come together, you feel me, but like when it comes to like being at home, like you feed a tiger differently than you feed a fish, you feel me, like it's different. So I completely agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I'll also touch on the different types of like melanin. So you guys, there's like really, it's like real science to this shit. Honestly, it's like real, like, you got to study like anatomy and like
Yeah.
biology and shit like that. But when
Facts.
it comes down to it, if you really look at it, there's literally two different species. There's the prokaryotic cell versus like eukaryotic, and the eukaryotic is like a cellular, what I'm trying to say, organism,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like the prokaryotic
Pro,
cell is a single-celled organism. And with the multi-cell organism, it's like made up of different. That's where you get like the monkey, the muskrat, and like all the different shit that's mixed in to create the what you would call humans. Me personally, I don't consider myself as a human because if you
Facts.
like you
Take
do
yourself
do
out of
the
there.
yeah, if you do like the you know what's that word, the gematria of it, then
Mm-hmm.
you'll understand like hue and then man. But that's deep.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
don't want to get too
Yeah.
deep
but
into it.
we all
Yeah, that's
come
some
in
real shit.
different shades and hues. We all, um,
Yeah, and then that's
like
what I'm saying.
so, so like are you saying that like we're all branches of the same tree, or that there are two different trees?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. That there's two
Which
different trees, and you can say like,
That makes
oh,
sense.
other
so
people have the ability to like tap into the source, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if you look into the Bible and you start studying this shit, the sun, right? The sun, Jesus, the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look into the
Son of God.
sun,
Son of God.
there's two different types of energy that it gives us as individuals. So like some people can't really stay out in the sun for an hour long type
Mm-hmm.
shit. But
Mm-hmm.
like with me, I can go for like all damn day. So like if you
Facts.
really want to talk about
but
the source and the energy and shit, there's different levels to this shit. And no one's trying to say superior or any of that shit. But there is a very big difference between us.
Yeah, like
And the
right,
only
but
thing that you
right,
can really
but
say that's
just
between us is like arms, ears, shit like that.
right, right, but just because there are differences between us doesn't mean that like one is better than the other, and that
Or
that there needs to be some kind of fucking racial hierarchy or something,
no,
because
no. He's not
we're
saying that.
right, right. Okay,
What
okay.
he's saying is that like there is an argument to be made that certain races are somewhat unnatural to this planet than other
Yeah,
races, because if
But
like the sun heals us but then hurts you,
exactly.
how are
but like
you, like, you feel me, why, like there's certain, is
uh,
a
How are
disconnect, you feel me?
you,
uh,
type superior?
like
How could you
But
say you're superior?
I don't say I'm superior. That's the thing. I don't
I'm
believe in
confused
race.
though.
I don't believe in racial superiority
I
limited
think
to this.
even if you're the most Caucasian and pale skin and whatever, if you go down your ancestors and you go back down your lineage and your great ancestors, you'll still find some indigenous person, melanated and black
absolutely,
person with the
yeah,
genes
Yeah, that's true.
and
but
you can
I have
activate that no matter your race.
That's
I
true.
look at it as
yeah,
a good thing, bro. If you have black melanated ancestry and you have
Mm-hmm.
pale skin, you can do both, bro. You can
Mm-hmm.
be in the cold and in the heat, bro. You can activate both of the stuff, bro. You got to look at the bright side for both things.
yeah. It's like yeah, like having one skin, like you shouldn't be made ashamed for having something you can't control, and
Oh, of course not. You can't control that.
I've seen yeah, and I've encountered some people who would like hear about all of how melanin is supreme and how it's the most amazing thing in the universe, and then they look and they're like, I don't have that much melanin on my skin, and then they end up growing to hate themselves, to hate their race, to where they're like, I wish I had more melanin, and like you can't control that. But it's just like, like some people are made to feel ashamed for how they look on both ends of the spectrum, and like that shit needs to end, to where you should be proud to be who you are, and be proud of where you come from, regardless of like what race you are. There's something to be proud of with every cultural and ancestral lineage there is, and you shouldn't be made to feel ashamed of it. We should be proud
100%.
of
I
where we
mean,
come from.
the goal of the powers that be, the goal of the reptilians or whoever the fuck is running this shit,
Right.
they want you to not feel proud of it. They want you to hate yourself. They want you to hate whoever's next to you, and
And there's
you just
also there's also like some like a lot of white people that just completely hate being white. Like, no fucking joke. There are two hashtags that I believe are still on Twitter called white genocide and white extinction, where it's still fucking used.
So like it's like there's like a lot of and you should not be ashamed of your race, but I think like you said before, you should be like, there's things of every culture that you should be proud of, and there's things that you should also look at. You can't ignore the bad things you did too, though. You
Yeah,
feel me? And I understand that a lot of those white people, like, they see, white people, like, they created slavery and all they did was just conquer the world and destroy cultures and stuff like that. So like that's why they end up saying things like that.
Yeah, like white people didn't create slavery, they industrialized slavery. Like, slavery has existed ever since tribalism existed,
Yeah,
And
no, black people put their own
and
selves in like slavery. I know that, like
absolutely.
we did that.
Yeah,
Sure,
indigenous slavery is a real thing. Yeah, the only thing that white people did for slavery was they industrialized it and turned it into a business. But like, for instance,
it's really hard to tell nowadays, bro, because the history is all fucked up anyway,
exactly.
bro. Because look, bro, I'm a Jew. My great grandfather, he escaped from Poland from the Germans in boat to Chile. He escaped from the war. But now they be telling us that the Jews be controlling everything and all that stuff, when we escaped from the Germans and stuff when they were trying to control us. But now we're the bad ones and stuff. So we don't really know who to believe now.
Exactly.
So I think the best thing you could do right now is believe in yourself, bro. So I don't really care about what they're trying to portray in the media. I'm just trying to stay on the right path and trying to activate as much DNA and as much energy as I possibly can.
Facts. I think that's the right mindset to have, to be honest. Like, like, fuck all that other shit. Work on yourself. Become the best version of yourself. That's literally it. Facts.
I honestly kind of think that's part of the agenda, is to make you just submit to what happened and just be like, oh, well, fuck it happened.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you mean like, you're saying like we actually should explore it? You're saying like we should like try to figure out the truth?
I'm really thinking we should explore it, because that's what they don't want us to do, right?
Well, they don't want us to know the truth, and that's where I'm trying to get to. But it's like Spizo was saying, like, because it's become so skewed, how do we find the truth? You know what I'm saying? Like, what I want to do is like study all the religious texts and find where they all match up, and like I feel like all those would be some of the truths. But it's like, how do you find like the truths of like Egypt and like all those type of things if like they're skewing so much, and they probably burn books and stuff like that, burn secrets and shit? How do you know who to believe?
Yeah, like I was saying, like my family, my Jewish family, they escaped from Poland from the Nazis that were trying to kill us, and like they're killing us because like we had some power or something like that.
Yeah.
But now like we're the ones with all the power from the beginning and now we're oppressing everyone? Like, I don't know. So it's all so mixed up and fucked up. It just don't make sense to me. Like, if my family was escaping from Poland from the Nazis, how are we the Nazis now? Like,
it's because people, it's in especially when it comes to like white supremacists or neo-Nazis, like while they don't get a lot of stuff right, they do get things right in the sense of like there is a system of control that is corrupt and is trying to assimilate as many people as possible and also kill a lot of people. And that, but the thing is, they don't know, they can't get the distinction between a Zionist and a Jew. So you yourself, you are not a Zionist. You are not the Jews that are in control. But they think, oh, because the Zionists fall under Judaism, and if you talk about the Jews and you're anti-Semitic, then they think, oh, it's just all the Jews. Where they can't find the line between a Zionist and just a normal Jewish person that practices the Hebrew faith.
But this is how they also distract you from getting to the actual truth. You feel me? But I think the question really we should be asking is like, how do we get to the actual truth? How do we get to the actual origin of, these problems? And then if we do find that out, how do we even fix these problems? You know what I mean? Like, because like if nobody truly knows who they are or them, how are we ever going to actually take them down and like get rid of all of this?
So it's just a matter of trying to find as many answers as possible, trying to construct it into a way that's understandable for many individuals, and then try to spread that as much as possible. Because the more knowledge you have, the less likely you are to be controlled. But the dumber you are, the less observant you are, the more likely you are to be controlled and assimilated into this whole hive mind matrix system that we live in.
And so the Matrix, we know the Matrix is a bunch of falsehood. The food is fake. Everything, most of the stuff is fake. So if we're relying on the stuff that's fake, how are we going to find out what's true? You got to start relying more on yourself and less on the Matrix. You got to stop eating their food. You got to stop relying on these parties and this New Year's and Christmas, and you got to do this and that and the other. Start like doing what you think to be true, and you'll start to be more true, and you'll start embodying the truth. When
knowledge, perception, self-reliance. Yes.
When you eat the food from the Matrix, it makes this mucus, which is literally falsehood. This literally falsehood in your body, and it makes you crave more of it, and you start feeding this parasites. They start controlling your thoughts, your emotions, all this shit.
Exactly.
So the more you rely on that, the more you're giving them the power.
Facts. And then because then you become addicted to the food, and now you want more of what they're feeding you, and now you just get stuck into the system for sure.
That's why you have so many people lining up for McDonald's. That food's just straight.
I haven't eaten McDonald's in years, bro.
I know, but that's because you made that conscious decision to not do it.
Yeah.
But with a lot of people, they just eat it because it's somewhat cheap, it's tasty, and it's around like every other corner. It's all these phones, all this fast food, all of these designer clothes, all this. It builds up addiction, and with that addiction comes reliance on that entity to continue to provide that addictive substance.
Right.
All
right. I'm probably gonna go in like probably the next 5 minutes. Anybody have any like last thoughts? If we go down the list.
So I'll really just say that that I've really just figured out it boils down to like two options, honestly, and it's either just like dive all the way deep into the illusion, meaning get the riches, get the wealth, do the healthy thing or whatever, or we just completely cut it off and step away from the system and let it crumble just like that. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I think those are really the only two options we have.
Okay, so
we step away from it or dive into it.
So you're saying like, okay, because like I have two plans. Like I'd rather I'm going to play the game. I'm going to get as much money as possible. And then either you could try to climb up and then try to like, I guess maybe attain as much power as possible and then try to change it. Are you saying like that's one way? Or you play the game and then you get enough money so you can leave the system and then maybe do your own thing on the other side and then let this continue over here. Is that what you're saying basically?
What I'm saying is basically like step away from the I and think about the collective and think about the next generation and shit. So yeah, get the money and do something about it.
Yeah,
Don't just get money and disappear and say fuck niggas. No,
yeah.
bro, like
Because then it still
do something.
exists. Yeah, it's still
Yeah,
here.
exactly. So that's really the only two options I have, man. I'm kind of lost right now, to be honest.
No, I feel you.
I think that there's a way better way to go about it, and there's a thing that many philosophers, many of these people, they call your higher self,
Yeah,
and you can connect to it through your dreams, and it can guide you. Like your higher self, it's already been through this lifetime. Like it's already played it out many different times on different universes. There's many different yous playing out right now on this universe. And if you connect with your higher self and you go into that state of dreaming consciously, you can like literally get tips and you can get insight on what to do the next day, what actions to take, how to do this and that, and like you can like get insight through your dreams on how to act on the future to make your future like better.
yeah, and that's kind of like almost like your intuition as well, and because like there's a whole idea that before you reincarnated, your soul chose to reincarnate at this time. You know what I'm saying? So like you can't really complain about what's going on. You got to say, okay, my soul chose to be here at this time because it knew that I would be able to do something to maybe impact it or change it. You know what I'm saying? So I guess like you say, just like go within and just kind of find the answers, and then kind of, because I have some crazy ass dreams. Like I had a dream of like, it was like a celestial being telling me to basically like brainwash everybody back because like the world is corrupt, and like I was like, nigga, what the fuck type of dream is this? Yeah, I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? I'm like, nigga, what? And then like after he told me to do that shit, a nigga just turned into light and disappeared. I'm like, nigga, what? What just happened, nigga? So like maybe that's like what Sabiso was saying. Maybe that was like my higher self talking to me or some shit like that. I don't fucking know.
I'd be having dreams of meeting up with friends and like stuff like that, and then it would happen like next week, and I would meet up with that same friend, and I'd be like, "Whoa, this is some crazy ass deja vu," and I start getting dizzy and shit. Like, how the fuck is this happening?
No facts. Like we're able to predict the future
Like,
with our dreams, but like
some
they try to
real
like
shit.
make it seem like it's like it means nothing. But then everybody's always like, "Oh, what did you dream about?" Or like, "What is your dream?" You feel me? Like it clearly means so much more than we think. You feel me? Because they always say everything happens in the spiritual before it happens in the material. So I think it's definitely something to take note of for sure. Any final notes from you, Chris?
What happened? I know.
Any final takes? We just been having this conversation right now, but I got to take a shower, dog. You got any like final takes on the conversation? Have you been keeping up or?
Yeah, I had to do something at first.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we're basically just talking about like how basically like we don't know who the elites are. So like, what do you think? Like we can argue all day. We don't know what the truth is. Like they've skewed the truth. They've burned certain books. They've maybe changed certain books. We don't know what the fuck's going on. So like, what do you think is the best course of action to take in order to either change or just to like get closer to the truth?
Oh, okay.
You got anything you might want to say on that?
No.
Didn't even hesitate. Didn't even hesitate.
All right. Parameter, you want to close it out then? You got anything? You got anything else to say?
That the power that you and I call God exists within every individual, and that it comes to a matter of choice on whether or not we choose to activate that power.
Yeah.
And there's some that believe that power doesn't exist. There's some that believe that power is separate from us, but that power of creation and even destruction, it exists within every conscious being that exists within us. That we're more than just a bag of bones and meat and organs in a leather bag. Definitely. We're energy that's inhabiting a physical vessel. This human body is nothing more than a vehicle for the energy that we call soul to operate. And that anyone and everyone can come and to realization that we're more than just a physical being, that we're energy, pure energy. And that we have the ability to create our own individual reality that like each of us is a world within itself. That we're a microcosm within a
100%.
macrocosm.
We're
We're our own world within the world.
Facts.
And with that, we have the ability to create our own world. Like I can create my world the way I want it, the same way you can create your world the way you want it to be. Our world meaning our life. And it just comes down to a matter of, do I want to create the world that I want to live in, or do I just want to live in the world that's been created for me?
Boy, speaking. Okay.